Welcome to another episode of the Superhuman Blueprint Podcast. I am your host, Drew Griesel. In today's episode, we are going to talk about the many reasons you may have trouble falling asleep, staying asleep, or wake up feeling like you didn't get enough sleep, even when you spent enough time in bed. But fear not, my friends, I am not just here to tell you about why your sleep sucks. We are also going to go through the short list of simple lifestyle modifications you can make to fix your sleep. And I know some of you are saying, Drew, even if I do these things, my life doesn't just permit me to get 8 or 9 hours of sleep every night. That's okay. What we're going to cover today will be about getting you good sleep. If you want to get more sleep and have the time to do so, and you just have trouble sleeping, we're going to resolve that for you as well. But even if you don't have the time to get more sleep, if you can significantly improve the quality of the sleep you do get, it will be a game changer for you. So how do you know if you're getting good sleep? The easiest metric is, how do you feel in the morning? Does it take you ages and a triple shot of espresso to properly wake up? Or are you finding your awareness and energy in a shorter time? The fancier way to know how you're sleeping is to get a sleep tracker, like my RingConn Smart Ring. This thing shows how much time I slept versus how much time I was actually in bed. It shows how much time I spend in each sleep stage. It shows how many times and for how long I woke up throughout the night. It gives a sleep score, it shows resting heart rate, and it gives a lot of other information as well too, including steps. I will link to the RingConn Smart Ring in the show notes in case you want to check it out as well. I highly recommend some sort of sleep tracker. Anyway, let's get to it.
Welcome to the Superhuman Blueprint Podcast.
If you have listened to prior episodes of the Superhuman Blueprint Podcast, you've probably heard my commercials for the Hack Your Sleep program. It is a sleep optimization program that I give away for free to you, our podcast listeners. On today's episode, I am essentially going to be covering the content of that program. We'll talk about some of the myths related to sleep, my top hacks for things you can do to improve your sleep, and we'll talk about the things you should stop doing also to improve your sleep. If you want to go back through any of the content, you can simply head over to hackyoursleep.net and use code Superhuman. I will link to this in the show notes as well at the superhumanblueprintpodcast.com. It's free. I just want you to sleep better. Anyway, here we go. Let's talk about the big sleep myths. So, despite the fact that we all sleep every single day for most of us, there are a lot of misconceptions about sleep. So, myth number one, less sleep must equal bad sleep. Less sleep and bad sleep are absolutely not the same thing. The statistics I get from my smart ring can attest to that. To understand that, though, let's review the stages of sleep, because you have to understand the stages of sleep to understand how we measure sleep quality. The sleep cycle consists of two main types of sleep: rapid eye movement or REM sleep, and non-rapid eye movement or NREM sleep. Stage 1, NREM. This is the transition from wakefulness to sleep. It usually lasts for a few minutes. It's a light sleep stage, and people can be easily awakened during this time. Think about this as the falling asleep stage. And then there is NREM stage 2. So a little bit more of an actual light sleep. This is deeper than the just falling asleep stage, but certainly not a deep sleep. This makes up a significant portion of total sleep time. NREM stage 3, this is what we call deep sleep or slow wave sleep or delta sleep. It plays a crucial role in physical restoration and growth. And awakening someone from this stage can result in disorientation. So that's where you wake someone up and they're like, what the hell is going on? And it takes them a moment to really come out of being asleep. You've probably experienced this yourself. And then finally, we have REM, rapid eye movement sleep. REM sleep is characterized by rapid eye movements. So you see someone's eye closed. Under the lid, you can see the eyeball kind of flicking back and forth. This is all an indicator of increased brain activity and possibly vivid dreams, and usually starts about 90 minutes after falling asleep. And REM sleep duration increases with each sleep cycle. The first REM period may last for only about 10 minutes, but later cycles can extend to up to an hour. And dreaming is most vivid and memorable during REM sleep. And the sleep cycle, so all 4 stages of your sleep cycle: stage 1, you're falling asleep; stage 2, you're light sleep; stage 3, you're deep sleep; and stage 4, you're REM sleep. You'll cycle through these multiple times throughout the night, with a complete cycle taking anywhere from 90 to about 110 minutes. And as the night progresses, the proportion of REM sleep increases, while the duration of deep NREM stage 3 decreases, and both REM sleep and NREM stage 3, or deep sleep or slow wave sleep or delta sleep or whatever, play important roles in physical and mental recovery, but they contribute in different ways. During deep sleep, the body repairs and regenerates tissues, strengthens the immune system, and relaxes growth hormones. So we talk about you need to get your sleep when you're sick because you need to build up your immunity. Well, that's your deep sleep. Deep sleep is also associated with restorative functions like muscle repair, energy restoration, and overall physical recovery. And it's particularly important for physical recovery after intense physical activity or exercise. So you get your good night of sleep after your crazy workout. So that was deep sleep. So REM sleep is linked to cognitive processes like memory consolidation and learning. So you get your physical benefits from the deep sleep and your mental benefits from the REM sleep. So REM sleep benefits you in that it helps you with the emotional processing and regulation. And while REM sleep doesn't provide the same physical restoration as deep sleep, it is crucial for your mental and emotional well-being. So those are the sleep stages, but what does it mean to get good sleep? So while we recognize that the terms good and bad are subjective, let's, for the purpose of this podcast, define them as follows. Good sleep entails progressing through all sleep stages, spending a sufficient duration in each sleep stage, and completing multiple cycles throughout the night. Conversely, bad sleep is characterized by disruptions where internal or external factors hinder the progression through all 4 stages, restarting the cycle before reaching stages 3 or 4, where most of the beneficial effects of sleep occur. What I mean by that is if your sleeping is disrupted when you're only in your NREM stage 2 or your light sleep, then you start all over. And if that happens again, you start all over. And you might go through multiple cycles without ever reaching deep or REM sleep, where you receive the rejuvenating benefits of sleep. This is also why they say don't bother with the snooze button, because you're not getting anything. There's no recovery from it. So if you wake up and you're awake enough to hit the snooze button and you're only sleeping for another 10 or 15 minutes, you're never getting back into your delta sleep. And so you're not actually experiencing any rejuvenating benefits of sleep during that snooze cycle. But the good news is that even during a shorter 5-hour sleep duration, you can experience the benefits of completing the cycle multiple times between falling asleep and waking up, which then translates to substantial recovery despite a shorter sleep duration. So bottom line is you can still get good sleep even if you're not getting 8 or 9 hours of sleep. Myth number 2, it is normal to wake up groggy and low energy. No, it's not. Or it shouldn't be. Anyway, in essence, waking up feeling groggy can be attributed to 2 main reasons. First one is inadequate sleep. As defined earlier, inadequate meaning you didn't get good sleep. Solving this issue is relatively straightforward. Just follow the Hack Your Sleep program. Following and staying committed to the program will address this aspect of not getting good sleep. The other one is awakening during stage 3, your deep sleep. So this challenge is a bit more intricate. Typically, we don't naturally wake up during deep sleep. But external factors such as sounds or movements or your damn alarm clock can disrupt this stage. So while we can't control unforeseen disturbances like children running into the room or a dog barking at something outside, we can at least address the alarm situation. And by that, I mean when your alarm wakes you up and you feel terrible because it just wasn't the right sleep stage, right? If your alarm goes off and you're in deep or REM sleep, then it sucks. There are alarms equipped with a technology called an accelerometer, which is actually found in your phone or smartwatch, and it is capable of tracking your sleep stages based on sound, movement, and heart rate. We highly recommend using a smart alarm that synchronizes your wake-up call with your sleep cycle. So this technology essentially waits until you are in a light sleep phase somewhere within a window near your set time before waking you up. Meaning, let's say you want to wake up at 6 a.m, it'll wait for you to be in a light sleep phase somewhere within a certain window around 6 o'clock and go off in that window at the appropriate time when you are not in a deeper REM sleep. It's pretty cool. Myth number 3, and this is one we probably all suffer from, especially parents. It is selfish to take time to focus on yourself. Honestly, it is selfless to prioritize time for self-reflection and care. Here's the crux. Neglecting your own well-being inevitably hampers your ability to present your best self daily. This then not only affects you, but also has repercussions for those depending on you. So if you don't prioritize yourself and get more sleep, and you wake up and you're in a bad mood because you're cranky because you didn't sleep well, now guess who suffers? Your kids or your roommate or your colleagues or whatever. Consider the symptoms of chronic sleep deprivation: forgetfulness, low energy, weakened immunity, susceptibility to diseases, a whole bunch of other things. None of these outcomes benefit you or your loved ones. So the most impactful action for everyone involved is to prioritize self-care with a solid foundation starting from a good night's sleep. Again, doesn't need to be a long night's sleep, but it should be a good night's sleep. Now let's get to the good stuff. Our top hacks for improving your sleep. But before we do, a quick reminder that if you like what we do, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, leave us a review. Your engagement and support is what helps us to reach a broader audience and spread the good word of health and wellness. Also, show notes for today's episode can be found at the superhumanblueprintpodcast.com. I will link to the Hack Your Sleep program. I will link to the RingConn Smart Ring. I will link to a few other products that I will mention during today's episode that may support good sleep. Sleep hack number 1 is light. In the olden days, before we had electrically powered light sources, we were pretty limited, right? We had the sun and we had fire. And we used fire at night, and fire is a very non-bright light. Anyway, now we have LEDs blasting us at all times of day and night. So use the influence of light to regulate your internal sleep-wake cycle, which is also known as your circadian rhythm. Start with the sun. So observing the natural transition between daylight and darkness each day will prompt your brain to synchronize your internal clock and your sleep-wake hormones with the evolving light conditions. This synchronization ensures a more profound sleep experience and a surge of energy when you wake up in the morning, because the hormones will support the appropriate sleep-wake cycle. And this doesn't require much time or complexity. When you wake up in the morning, go outside and look at the brightening sky. Or if it's still dark, take note of when the sun rises. Similarly, in the evening, step outside as the sun begins to go down and watch the sky darken, even just for a minute. By being intentional about observing this changing of light, it triggers the release of the sleep hormone melatonin, which then prepares your brain for its journey to sleep within the next few hours. So you actually can control triggering your brain to secrete sleep hormones. This episode is brought to you by the Hack Your Sleep program. Are you tired of feeling drained, struggling to stay focused throughout the day? Is low energy impacting your work and your relationships? So many of our clients at Primal Wellness Coaching used to be there too, until we introduced them to the simple steps in the Hack Your Sleep program. And guess what? As a Superhuman Blueprint podcast listener, we are going to give you access to this program absolutely free. This program isn't just about getting more sleep, it's about getting better sleep. Imagine falling asleep quickly and having nights filled with deep, restorative sleep. Say goodbye to those restless nights and wake up refreshed every day. These proven techniques will help you relax, clear your mind, and drift off into that peaceful embrace of sleep faster and keep you there longer. Even if you don't have time to add hours to your sleep schedule, you don't have to sleep more just to sleep better. But don't take my word for it. Join the Hack Your Sleep program and become part of the community of well-rested, energized individuals. Go to hackyoursleep.net and use code SUPERHUMAN to get this sleep improvement program completely free. That's hackyoursleep.net, code SUPERHUMAN to start sleeping better tonight. If you consistently practice this routine, slipping into deep sleep when you hit the sack will become increasingly effortless. It takes time though, so you got to do it a few days in a row. It's not going to work day one, but if you do it and you do it and you do it and you do it, your body will then adapt and correct your circadian rhythm so that you sleep at the appropriate times. The other option is give your indoor lighting a makeover. So you want to signal your body to wind down for sleep at the end of the day, right? Our circadian rhythms have been disrupted by constant exposure to artificial light around the clock. And the solution is pretty straightforward. Diminish the artificial light, or at least diminish the intensity of those indoor lights approximately 2 hours before bedtime. This mimics the gradual descent of the sun, which then, again, prompts the release of your sleep hormones for a night of sleep. So easiest one, if you have dimmers, then just dim the lights a couple hours before bed on all of your lights. If you don't have dimmers on all your lights, that's totally fine. You can either opt for lower wattage bulbs or only turn on a few lights in the house instead of all the lights, or start to turn lights off as the evening progresses so that by the time you're ready for bed, there are only a few lights on, or maybe have a few lights that just have dim light bulbs. The next one, no one's going to like. I'm sorry, but you saw this coming. You know you did. Ditch the screens. So the unfortunate reality is that the blue light emitted by your device signals rise and shine to your brain. Yes, that loud and annoying. The silver lining is many devices offer a feature to diminish blue light during specific hours. So take a moment to explore your device settings and activate night mode, or whatever it's called, on your device. Have it turn on every day approximately 3 hours before when you plan to go to bed. This just changes the color tone of the screen. As bedtime approaches within 2 hours, though, sorry guys, ditch the screens entirely. So if you eliminate the onslaught of blue light, and blue light still will creep through night mode, this aids your brain in winding down, allowing your sleep hormones to take center stage. Because even if it's dim in the house and you watch the sunset, if you're staring at screens, then all that light is still going right into your brain. So resist the temptation to indulge in binge watching those intense shows or scrolling through social media a couple hours before bed. That is the time to prepare for a good night's sleep. And yes, I know the prospect of 2 screen-free hours, which includes your TV, might sound daunting. So if you need ideas on how to spend this time, check out the FAQ section towards the end of the Hack Your Sleep program. I have some suggestions for you. So controlling your light exposure is hack number 1. Hack number 2 is cleaning up your sleep environment. We often underestimate the amount of light in our sleep environment, from alarm clocks to electronic devices with tiny, intrusive little bulbs that seem to illuminate the entire room. Take charge by, 1, dimming the alarm clock. Most digital alarm clocks have a dimming capability, or just covering it up or getting rid of it altogether, make it turn and face the wall. I don't know. You can tackle other device lights with my personal ghetto hack by using a small square of electrical tape and sticking it over all those little light bulbs telling you your mini devices are on. You know what I'm talking about, right? Something, you plug something in and for some reason there's an LED light on it that lets you know that it's on. Like you couldn't have figured it out without a light bulb, and may surprise you how many of those you have around your sleeping space. So cover them up. Also banish your external lights. So lower the shades, draw the curtains, or better yet, invest in blackout curtains. You can get them anywhere, Amazon, Walmart, whatever. This one may surprise people. So contrary to common belief, a cooler room actually fosters deeper sleep. So align your thermostat with the recommended 65 to 68 degrees Fahrenheit for bedtime, which then sustains a deep sleep-worthy temperature until morning. Yes, you actually will sleep better when it's cooler. If achieving this temperature is challenging, you're partner won't let you turn it down that low, or you don't have that kind of thermostat control or whatever, maybe it's just too hot, you can also consider a cooling pad for your bed. You can buy them on websites, you plug them in, and they keep your bed cool. And these allow you to specify your desired coolness even if the room is warm. And then finally, noise. So you got to shield yourself from all the external noise. Any sound infiltrating your sleep environment is a threat to your sleep cycle. Whether it's the TV on in the other room or a neighbor's barking dog, any external noises can disrupt your sleep stages, preventing you from reaching those deep and REM sleep stages. So seal off unwanted sounds by closing the windows, closing the doors, using earplugs if necessary. Alternatively, you can use white noise machines. There are phone apps with white noise, and also experiment with pink or brown noise. Those are a little bit different wavelengths than white noise. They're supposed to give an extra touch for elevating your ability to drift into and stay in deep and REM sleep. So hack number 1 is light. Hack number 2 is your sleep environment. Hack number 3 is to focus on movement and hydration. So firstly, no surprise here, exercise plays a pivotal role in promoting restful sleep. Experts recommend engaging in moderate to intense physical activity for at least 20 minutes daily. And honestly, folks, that's not much. So suck it up and figure it out. 20 minutes daily. This could entail anything from a brisk walk that induces a light sweat all the way to a vigorous CrossFit session, or everything in between. Exercise aids in sleep in several different ways. It induces a state of simple exhaustion, which then reduces the time it takes to fall asleep once you lay down. Exercise also releases hormones that enhance mood and reduce stress, which then facilitate easier sleep initiation. So again, hormonal control, hormonal regulation is really important when it comes to falling asleep and staying asleep. Exercise also improves the quality of deep sleep. Just be mindful to conclude your workout at least 2 hours before bedtime to allow your heart rate to gradually decrease and your brain to unwind before you go to sleep. Next, strive to get in 5,000 or more steps daily. Aside from your dedicated workout, incorporating movement throughout the day is a fundamental and honestly easily attainable approach to supporting sleep quality. And while the optimal health benefits usually are somewhere in the 8,000 to 10,000 steps daily range, research does suggest that even as few as 3,000 steps per day can significantly enhance the sleep quality. Thus, I say meet in the middle, aim for 5,000 steps. This strikes a balance, helping to expend energy and to signal your body that it's time for restorative sleep by the end of the day. Most smartphones or watches can track your daily steps pretty easily. Alternatively, you can purchase an inexpensive pedometer or step tracker on Amazon if you prefer not to rely on a smart device. Or you have smart rings. I use this one for both my steps and my sleep tracking. The next one is you got to hydrate. Hydrate. Many individuals, maybe you, are chronically dehydrated without even realizing it. And apart from the myriad of health issues associated with dehydration, sleeping while dehydrated can significantly disrupt your sleep quality. Maintaining adequate hydration throughout the day can alleviate a lot of nighttime problems such as headaches, cramps, fatigue, which is distinct from just being sleepy. And hydration can promote overall health and happiness. Hot tip to determine your water intake: aim for approximately 2/3 of your body weight in pounds in ounces of water daily. For instance, if you weigh 180 pounds, you want to drink 2/3 of that in ounces of water. So you want to drink 120 ounces of water per day. Consider opting for mineral or electrolyte enhanced water. If you're just drinking filtered water, it's not going to do a whole lot for you. Tap water, stay the hell away from it. It's bad stuff. If you have filtered water, add electrolytes. I have a couple that I recommend. I will link to them in the show notes as well. They have different mineral profiles, so I use both of them every day: Ultima Replenisher and LMNT. Anyway, drink your water. Make sure it's mineral enhanced. But consider concluding your water intake 1 or 2 hours before bedtime, so you're not disrupting your sleep cycle because of all of your nocturnal bathroom trips. So by integrating exercise and movement and hydration into your daily routine, you are going to pave the way for a smoother transition into deep and restful sleep, which is then nurturing your overall well-being and vitality. So those are my hacks: light, environment, your body. A lot of people ask me about sleep supplements. And first of all, I am not a doctor. I'm not a dietitian. I've done some research, so I will tell you what I've researched. And you make your own decisions, and probably you should talk to your doctor before you stop taking anything or start taking anything. But here's what we've learned and what I can tell you. So it's a intricate and bewildering realm of supplementation. And the market, honestly, is flooded with all kinds of sleep aids and supplements. So we're going to talk about some of the natural supplements because I'm just not a fan of sleep medications, pharmaceuticals. So we're going to explore natural supplements. We're going to talk about their intended mechanisms and just our overall perspective. So first one, and most of you are aware of this one, melatonin. So this is the sleep hormone that your brain actually produces when you witness the reduction of light in the evening. So this is produced by brain signals within your brain, but you can also take it exogenously. So while you can produce your own melatonin, you can also ingest it to give yourself a melatonin boost. But while melatonin supplements can enhance your ability to fall and stay asleep, the consensus on regular hormone supplement intake is varied. Our standpoint, Primal Wellness Coaching, melatonin is beneficial for occasional use, but we recommend exploring products that aid your body in naturally producing melatonin for sustained benefits rather than just ingesting melatonin directly. Next one, cannabis. So I know a lot of you have a little bit of weed to go to sleep. So within the world of cannabis, there are two components that are widely studied for medicinal purposes. First one, THC, which is known for its psychoactive effects, can promote deep sleep. Yay. But may interfere with REM sleep. Boo. And then REM sleep is an essential component for quality sleep. So just because of that, our advice on THC, avoid anything that might disrupt your sleep cycle. So great that you're getting good deep sleep, but if you're not getting good REM sleep, then you're still not getting good sleep. On the other hand, CBD, which is a non-psychoactive component of cannabis, shows promise in calming the brain without inducing the high. But research supporting CBD as a sleep aid is still pretty light at this point, and more studies are needed for conclusive evidence, so we don't advise on that one way or the other. Magnesium. So this is a common supplement. You all know about magnesium, but it's got a hidden benefit. Magnesium actually acts as an exceptional sleep aid. It induces a restful sleep and alleviates restless leg syndrome at the same time, which a lot of people suffer from and wakes them up. So magnesium is a great one. However, not all magnesium is the same, so choosing the right type and dosage is crucial. Our recommended magnesium is Magnesium Breakthrough from Bioptimizers. It's got a great magnesium profile. I will link to that in the show notes at the superhumanblueprintpodcast.com. Last ones I'm going to mention are two amino acids called tryptophan and GABA. So these amino acids, tryptophan and GABA, serve primarily to relax and unwind your brain and your body. So tryptophan, which is renowned for its sleep-inducing properties. Everyone knows, oh, you eat turkey and it makes you sleepy because of the tryptophan or whatever. And it does this by regulating serotonin and melatonin and guiding your brain towards sleep. GABA is actually an inhibitor, and it slows down brain activity, also gently guiding you into a state of deep, restful sleep. We have a product that we recommend for this one. It's from a company called Kion. The product is just called Sleep, and it actually has both tryptophan and GABA. So we'll link to that one as well in the show notes. Bottom line, approach these supplements with an open mind, understanding that individual responses may vary. Maybe melatonin is great for you. Maybe it sucks for you. Maybe tryptophan and GABA work really well for you, and maybe they don't do anything for you. So that's the trouble with supplements. You got to just try them and see what works. Prior to discontinuing any prescribed supplements or medications or incorporating new ones, consult with your healthcare professional to ensure that they align with your specific biology and your medical needs. All right. I know we're getting a little long in the tooth here, but sleep's important. So I'm going to wrap up here with all the things you need to stop doing that are wrecking your sleep. So there are a few habits we engage in despite suspecting they might interfere with our sleep, but we persist nonetheless because of the life that we live. So no matter how many sleep hacks you implement, sabotaging yourself with these habits can hinder you from reaping the maximum benefits, even if you do everything we've already talked about. So first of all, no surprise here, cut the caffeine. Caffeine has a half-life of approximately 6 to 8 hours, meaning even 6 hours after your last cup of caffeinated beverage, it still runs at half strength in your system. If you're one of those people that says, oh, I can drink a cold brew and fall right asleep and doesn't do anything to me, well, it does. The caffeine is likely compromising the quality of your sleep. So even if you're falling asleep okay, you're probably not sleeping well. It's preventing the full rejuvenating effects of your deep and REM sleep. So for optimal support in achieving your good night's sleep, conclude your last caffeinated beverage at least 8 hours before bedtime. 10 would be better. While exercise is crucial for quality sleep, you've got to allow yourself ample time to wind down before bedtime. I already mentioned this. Conclude intense exercise at least 2 hours before bedtime, 3 probably even better, 2 to 3 hours prior to when you go to sleep. It is acceptable to engage in light activities like a walk. Actually, that's great. Pre-bedtime walk is a lovely thing as long as you're not jacking up your heart rate, but reserve your vigorous workouts for earlier in the day. Your dinner time. Don't eat and then go to sleep. So consuming a large meal close to bedtime can lead to discomfort, indigestion, and difficulty falling asleep. It may also cause heartburn and disrupt your sleep quality, resulting in more wake-ups and a less refreshing feeling in the morning. So try to stop eating a few hours before bedtime. If you're just starving and you have to have something, have your dinner those few hours before bedtime, and then maybe a couple hours before bedtime, have a light snack like a little bit of fruit or some yogurt or something. But a balanced diet throughout the day can positively impact your sleep. So just be mindful of what you're putting in your body and when. If this is all too confusing for you, or it's you've tried this and it doesn't seem to be helping, seek personalized advice from a nutritionist, because they can give you a lot more information related to your specific needs and biology, particularly if you encounter sleep issues or digestive problems. All right, here's one that many of you are not going to like, but you don't like most of these, so here we go. Ban the booze. Yeah, I know. Don't smoke pot before bedtime. No, I'm telling you not to drink before bedtime. What's up with that? So while a drink or two before bedtime might seem like a relaxing way to prepare for sleep, alcohol, despite aiding in falling asleep, has been shown in several studies to significantly diminish the overall quality of sleep. So instead of reaching for that glass of wine, consider a refreshing cup of flavored electrolyte water and a magnesium supplement for better sleep and recovery. I know it's not the same thing at all, but do what you will, right? People chew gum instead of smoking a cigarette. You can drink electrolyte water instead of having a glass of wine. Your sleep quality will thank you. Your family will thank you for getting better sleep. So achieving a restful night's sleep is vital for maintaining your overall health and focus in every facet of your life. So integrate the 3 hacks, right? Light, sleep environment, and all the things that you got to do to prepare your body. And you can enhance your deep sleep, you can enhance your REM sleep, but just like with any skill, consistent practice is key. So you have to cultivate long-term habits, focusing on your bedtime routines. If you just do this for a couple of days, you're probably not going to see much of a difference. If you do this for a couple of weeks, you'll probably start to see some really nice differences. If you do this for a month, your sleep will probably be dialed. So cultivate your long-term habits, focus on your bedtime routines, pay attention to your energy level, and create that optimal sleep environment. And again, while immediate benefits may or may not be noticeable in the short term, the true advantages of enhanced sleep quality become increasingly apparent over the years. If you chronically get poor sleep, then as you age, you're going to age much more poorly. Whereas if you get good sleep, you will not. It's the easiest anti-aging hack. And again, using sleep trackers can further refine and fine-tune areas for improving and attaining deep sleep. It's actually really interesting. My Ring, when I look at the app, it not only monitors my sleep stage, but also gives insights and recommendations for refining sleep habits. It's pretty cool. And again, it tells me how much time I spend in each sleep stage and how often I cycle through them, how many times I woke up and how long I was awake during the course of the night, how much time I spent in bed versus actually asleep. And it gives me a sleep score, so I can beat myself up if I didn't score well. So, folks, that's it. That's my spiel. Again, go to hackyoursleep.net. Use code Superhuman to get free access to the Hack Your Sleep program. Everything I just told you is in there. And do me a favor, let me know if you try any of these protocols, or if you try all of these protocols and you experience any measure of success. I would very much love to hear about it. So shoot me a DM on Instagram at primal.wellness.coaching and let me know if you're having some success or if you're not. The show notes for today's episode are at thesuperhumanblueprintpodcast.com. Again, leave us a review, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, tell your friends about us, especially if you have a friend that you know has crappy sleep. Forward them this episode. They need it.